Anyway, we do have a doctor in the house. So he listened to our conversation, of course, about the banana leaves and the dim sums and the nasi lemak. And he says, so y'all want to prevent illnesses and diseases. But we have to have at least one cheat day, right?
Exactly.
And the
Just to
rest
make
of
you feel good. But then again, you have salad the next day. So you make sure you stick to that
Correct.
plan.
Salad. Yes. Anyway, what do we have after this?
Well, now, if you're looking to start a family and get pregnant, I think this is something that, for ladies, it's important to take note because what we understand is that fertility is closely linked to your weight. Now, before we delve into the topic, let's take a look at this clip. So there you go. To enlighten us on this topic, we have Dr. Prasha Nadkarni, fertility specialist. Oh, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Dato, welcome to the show.
Thank
Yes.
you.
What did you have for breakfast? Or lunch? Or brunch?
Well, I was intending to
Brunch.
have dim sum and a banana leaf rice, as you said.
Did you?
But knowing that I was going to come here and that you were going to ask me this, I
Right.
had cereal
You had cereal.
and a sandwich before I came.
So why did that influence your choice? Why did the show influence your choice?
Well, it didn't, but I was going to talk about weight and fertility. And I thought if I come here and have all of that and tell people not to eat it, that's not the right thing to do.
Right,
Okay.
All right, now, doctor, we know that every kilogram of excess weight gain can increase your infertility by 4%. That is staggering. Maybe you can enlighten us on that.
It's not actually every kilogram, it's every point on your BMI.
Every
Okay.
point on your BMI.
And your BMI is a ratio between your weight and your height.
Sure.
So the thing is that your fertility is at its best in that range where we're meant to be. And it's the same for every lifestyle disease. So if you have diabetes, your doctor will tell you lose weight. If you happen to be overweight and you come to my clinic, I'll tell you lose weight as well. Because that's the thing that we are least aware of. Or perhaps women and men, it affects men just as much,
Sure.
are not willing to listen to. Because you think, I'm going to take a pill and that's going to get me pregnant. It may work, but it's going to put your weight up. And then again, all the other things that come in, because once you get pregnant, you want to avoid a miscarriage, you want to have a healthy pregnancy, and then you want to deliver your baby. And if you're overweight, all these things then become a problem.
What is the biological process that affects this? I mean, when you talk about overweight, can be underweight as well, I presume.
Yes, it can. Yes, you can. And I saw your intro, which showed all the stars being underweight. Lots of women actually then use that as a guide to what they should be, and
that's
anorexia is
not
big.
right.
Yes, that's not right either, which is why I said you need to be in that range.
But you know, I mean, a lot of Asian women and women I come into contact with, whether it's aunties or, just typical Asian, Malaysian women, and they go like, oh, you need to get pregnant, so you must feed yourself, you know, you must make sure you you've got meat on your body.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can get pregnant. So what's that all about?
And then when you get pregnant, you need to eat for two.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's an Asian thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But the reality is it's not true. And I think that really comes from historically when food was scarce in this country. And in
Right.
most Asian countries. Nutrition was poor, food was scarce, so when you got it, you loaded up.
Right.
And you were meant to be healthy. But we now know the definition of health is not weight. Fat people are not healthy. Healthy people are healthy, which means you eat well, you don't drink, you don't smoke, you maintain good exercise, all the things that we read about in terms of good lifestyle.
So scare us. What is the biological process that takes place when you are underweight or overweight that can affect your infertility?
It is a hormone imbalance. We're not quite sure because there are different mechanisms that cause people to be overweight. The common one here in this country, we are blessed with enormous range of food. And that's probably the biggest issue. When I think Malaysians, when people visit us, the first thing they say is, wow, wonderful food. And then after 3 days, they said, I can't believe how much you people eat. You have breakfast, then you have a 10 o'clock curry puff, and then you eat lunch, and then you have tea at 4, and you have dinner, and then you talk about supper.
Sure.
We do this, and that's regularly our lifestyle.
Right.
You put on weight. That throws your balance off. Of course, that's just the common bit. But there are people with other illnesses, polycystic ovaries, thyroid dysfunction. There are many other things that cause that. But just let's look at lifestyle obesity.
Right.
Lifestyle obesity is something we can avoid. When we get overweight, it throws our hormones off. And then you start fertility is probably the end part of it. But for many people, the first thing they say is, oh, I just feel tired.
The sluggish.
You feel sluggish, you don't feel like getting up, you don't have any libido, you don't want to go to work, you're grumpy all the time. And all these things are really hormonal balances or imbalances.
Okay.
Now, that's where other lifestyle things come in, yoga and all those
Sure.
things that make you feel better. But the reality is, if you lose weight and you stay within your weight, your body functions normally. Because there's
just
only that
cutting
much
down on
that your
food
heart
then.
can do for you, and there's only that much that your kidneys can do for you. And beyond that, you're overloading them. And that's where there's a range, and that's your BMI.
Okay.
And for people who don't know where to find BMI, because lots of people come in and say, my weight's 60 kilograms. But then you look at them and you say, yeah, but you're only 4'8". So it's the ratio between your weight and your height, not your actual
And
weight,
it's got to have the balance for you.
for you to be there.
So do you get many patients who come in who have a problem to conceive because of weight issues? Is
Yes.
that the main thing or not?
No, not really. When people come in with fertility issues, it's a whole range of things, and you
Sure.
really have to look at the whole picture before you say it's this.
Okay.
But being overweight doesn't help. But there are other issues. Being overweight can reduce your fertility, it can reduce your for both men and women. It reduces your libido, so you have less sex. And then there are other issues. Men have poor sperm counts, women have other problems. They get cysts, they get fibroids, there are problems with the
Yeah,
uterus.
that
So
PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Is it because of a weight thingy as
it's
well?
the other way around. If you move on to PCO, that's the commonest hormonal imbalance that women have.
Right.
What is that?
What is that? It is a hormone imbalance in which women produce excess amount of male hormone. So they do all the things that men do. They have acne, pimples, they have extra hair, they put on weight,
They've got more
they have...
Y chromosome.
And what causes
no,
that?
no, it's not a chromosomal thing. They just produce more male hormone, that's
Okay.
What causes that? Is that something from diet and lifestyle?
all. It's one of those things that's been studied. We still don't know exactly what causes it. We do know two things, that a lot of people have diabetes in their family, so it is linked, and it is an early form of diabetes, and that half these people will go on to have diabetes later in life.
Sure.
And the other thing is, there's another group who don't put on weight. They're very skinny, but they have PCO as well. And they have a genetic link. There'll be a mother or an aunt or a cousin who had the same issue. For all of them, there's nothing wrong with their eggs. It's just that the hormone imbalance stops them ovulating. So if you don't produce an egg, or you don't know when that egg is being released, you're not going to get pregnant. And that's the issue.
Okay, Lisa, you might want to share with Dato and the rest of the audience what you shared with me in the...
Oh, I see.
the
Well,
changing
my
room?
husband and myself, we are planning to have a family. So,
Good, yay, good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I may look on the underweight side. So, but my gynae says to me that you are very healthy, you're happy, and so it's good for you, and you can start doing it. So, would that be a problem? You reckon?
Would you be able to just
just
tell?
because from the outlook you see, okay, she's on the skinny side.
No, that's why the BMI. It's a ratio. You need to know what's your BMI. Simple thing to do is just go on the web and just put their BMI calculator, and you'll get a
Oh,
whole
you can
load of
just
them.
do it in the web?
Yes, you can go onto
Okay.
my website as well. My clinic website's got one.
Okay,
and
www.fertility.com.
klfertility.com.
klfertility.com.
But there's plenty. You can just go anywhere. Just put in your weight, put in your height, and it tells you your BMI.
Oh, fantastic.
Now in Asia, it's supposed to be somewhere between 19 and 23. In other countries, it's 24, but Asian women are smaller frames, so we say
Sure.
23. Then you'll know what it is. If just looking at you, you're probably around about the 20 range. But that's not good enough. You really need to know what it is.
Okay. All right. Also now, Dato, there are a lot of more women who are now very career-oriented. Yeah.
Yes.
So they want to be financially stable.
Yes.
Also, if you find your spouse, you want to save up enough money to start a family, make sure that you have a roof over your head and you have education funds for your kids ready already. So
Are you getting
what is-
worried?
No, just that. This is a widespread issue.
Of course.
What is your advice to women? In this category.
It's every fertility specialist's advice, which is there's no right time. Just get on with it.
So
Yeah.
you're saying
Just
there's
get
no
on
right
with it.
time, but
No.
women are saying, okay, 20s, I'm not ready, but 30s, okay, I've got enough in my bank account now, so I'm financially stable, then that's stress-free. So,
Well, if you're asking for a good age, it's anything under 35. So
okay.
if you're under 35 and you get pregnant, chances are you're going to get pregnant easily. You're not going to have a higher miscarriage rate.
Sure, because the older you get, the more...
The more you have, the risks of the pregnancy come down. You're not not to say you're not likely, but you're less likely to develop diabetes or blood pressure.
Sure,
And the risk of Down syndrome is less.
of course.
Okay? But that's your first baby. So if you have your first baby at 36, and then you start planning for your second one and you start putting an education fund aside and so on and so on and so on, how old are you going to be when the second one turns
With a
up?
walking stick in
Yeah,
hand.
that's right. You see, so infertility is not just your desire and your inability to have your first baby, it is that you're unable to have a child. And that can be at any point. It may be your third child. Lots of people want 3 children.
But there are other options right now. You know, if you can't conceive the normal way, there's
Yeah.
IVF and there's this and
Yes.
that, which is a tedious and lengthy process. But if you want something badly enough,
Yes, it's tedious, it's costly. You may have to do it again and again because it's not 100%. And there's no guarantee of success. And again, the older you are, the less likely you are to get pregnant.
so the best thing is just to stay
start
healthy.
early, remain slim, have your Sunday lunch of a curry, but don't do that every day. Don't have 5
Not every
meals a day.
Yes.
You know, and then don't forget your husband's there. It's a lifestyle issue. So
Oh,
if
yeah,
he's fat and he's eating all of that and drinking lots of beer, then or 5 tetaraks a day,
Sure.
it's both of you.
And it's stress. It's a
Oh, very much
whole
so. It's very much.
lifestyle. I mean,
It's
I know
very much
couples
so.
who can get a baby, and then the moment they say, okay, forget it, we're not thinking about it, and they go on holiday, and then, it happens,
Yes,
right?
yes, it does.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
So if our ladies out there or men out there would like to find you, where do they go to?
I think the simplest is just to go to the website. It's
Okay.
klfertility.com,
Okay.
and then the rest is there online, and you can make your own arrangements.
Great stuff.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you very much
Arnaz,
for having me here.
enlightening us.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Thank
Enjoy
you.
your lunch after this.
Yes.
I'm going
Pray
to have
tell,
I think
where
I'll
are you
have
going?
soup. I'll probably have soup now.
Soup.
Just because I know you'll watch me.
Just because you feel like pregnant want to get
Yeah, but
healthy.
that's, tonight's different.
Okay, it's Sunday anyway.
Buffet.
It's my cheat day. I don't know about you guys. But thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It's
Thank
been a
you.
pleasure
Thank you for
having you
having
here,
me.
Dato.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go for another short break.